was just a random inspired look that I got from who knows where, zombies, and I just wanted to show you how to do it. And this makeup is very simple, it's very basic. All I'm using is liquid latex and makeup. That's literally all it is. It's just liquid latex, few tissues, and then just other natural special effects makeup. You can do this very simple, you can go very intricate and make this one big masterpiece, but for something that I want to do along the lines was just very simple, a little bit of bruising technique, just an open flesh wound. By no means am I telling you to go out and get third degree and get liquid latex and get all this other stuff. This is just simple. I got this liquid latex at just Party City or any other Halloween store. Will probably sell it during the Halloween season, and it's extremely simple. So let's get into the video. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment because I will be making videos every Tuesday. I will be making videos every Wednesday, and they will be posted on Wednesday, and I really want the feedback, so anytime that you can leave a comment, also like, subscribe, I already said that, and let's get into the video. Let's go! So what I'm doing right now is just taking the liquid latex and putting it into a cup with some tissues on hand. I recommend using a cup that you don't really care, and before I do anything, I'm just going to lay out my foundation, which is just putting the shape of the torn away skin that I want to do. I'm just using a black eyeshadow and a small eyeshadow brush to just draw on what I want. Once I have the foundation down, I'm just going over the edge as close as possible, not going inside the actual wound with the liquid latex. And once that gets a little bit dry, then I'm going to start laying down my tissue, as you'll see right now. You're going to want to use tissue that's not too long or too wide because you are going to have to put more liquid latex over it to make it blend into your skin better, and it's just going to be using more liquid latex if you use bigger pieces, and it's going to look more chunky when you're trying to blend it out into your skin when you use your foundation later on when we start getting into the makeup. And I'll just speed up the process for you and we'll move on to the next step. What I'm doing here now is just going to take my entire palette of eyeshadow because there's a tiny mirror there, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm just pulling away at the edges on the inside where I'm going to paint the actual wound, where there's going to be the blood and the red paint and some shading in there. So I'm just pulling up the edges slightly to help in the next process because I don't want to peel it all the way up because it is just going to get pressed back down when I put the foundation on over it. So I'm just getting those edges ready to be peeled back up again, just so I have that little edge to pull it at so I don't have to go back under and get my hands all full of the foundation. The foundation that I'm using right now is IL, which is basically just an ivory colored foundation, and I've found that this works best if you want to like get really nice just clear skin. Of course, I am not that color. I normally mix a couple foundations to get my color, but just for the purpose, I'm just going to use this one foundation. And I'm using my foundation brush that I got from I Love Cos, and I just got this new set, and I really like it. So what I'm doing right now is just putting down my foundation all over there, and I'm not doing my whole face. I would if I would go out just to give that full authentication that that is my true skin color, but just for the demonstration, I'm just doing it over the wound and on half my face. And we'll speed this process up right about now. Now that most of the foundation is put on, and like I said, it's just half my face, it's not my entire look because I am just doing this one side of my face, I'm going to be bruising up the edges now along the outside, which is all along as close up to the skin flap as I possibly can get. So I'm going in with this red color from the Mehron Bruise palette, and it is called Burnt Maroon. Just kidding, it's actually called Bloody Rose, and I'm going all around the outer side first to give it that bruised appearance that it just got bruised right on the top of my cheekbone, and I'm doing that all around my face. And next, as you'll see, I'm going to be going in with several other colors to give it more of a very hardened bruise and more of an older bruise. So I'm going to be using the darker shade, which is Midnight Sky, and then I'm also going to be using Spanish Olive and Maize Yellow to give it more of that old bruised look. Like it's been there for a while, but there's still like a good amount of blood that was inside, as you'll see later on. From here, I just pulled up the skin flaps a little bit more, and I'm going to be going in with that same bruise palette in Midnight Sky, and I'm just taking a small eyeshadow brush that's rounded at the top, and I'm going in all along the inner edges of this cut to give it more of a depth perspective. So it's just right along the inside, as far up. You don't want to tear off the liquid latex as it is going to be on your skin. You just want to get up in there as much as possible just to give it that sort of darkened appearance of darker blood and a depth perception that a piece of skin and a little bit of muscle has been torn out of your cheek. And this is just going to be there to give that depth perception, and it'll help later on when we start blending in other colors to make it look more grotesque. And from what you can tell right now, I'm just fanning it out more into the middle so that way it gives a nice gradient effect when I put in my next color, which will be that bloody rose, as well as another red that I probably did put in there at some time but just forgot to film. From here, I'm just going in and bruising up my lips a little bit to give that sort of perspective that I've been hit more on the side of the face, and that piece of skin was taken out, and I just bruised up that entire side, and my lips are now swelling up and filling with blood or just being bruised naturally. And here I did make a little mistake, so I am just rubbing off some. That is the power of makeup and makeup remover. If you put too much on, just take it off and start over. I'm also now going in to bruise up the top and bottom part of my eye, as this would have happened as well if this were to really happen to somebody. It would bruise your eye, bruise your lips, and obviously have a whole bunch of bruising around that entire cheek area. And then after I'm done with this, I just go in and I fill it with blood. And I normally use my fingers, but you can use a Q-tip or a brush or anything. But know that if you do use a more coagulated blood, which is more like a runny yet sticky type of blood, it may ruin your brush. So I always recommend using your finger when using coagulated blood or any type of really liquidy blood, because it will ruin your brush. Or you can use a Q-tip if you don't like using your fingers or anything, but for this part I just use my finger. Now wrapping up this video, that's pretty much all there is to it, and there's the final product, just a torn hole in my skin. Hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.